Welcome to AGS classes. Today we are going to deal with structure of eye. As you are aware that we have talked about reflection and refraction in our previous classes, and today we are dealing with this structure of human eye. You know that eye is one of the sense organs. We have 5 sense organs, namely we have skin, sense of touch. We have ears to deal with sense of hearing. We have tongue to deal with the sense of taste. Ears as sense of smell. Finally, we have sense of vision, which is eyes. And today we are going to talk about this very sense organ, that is eyes. Eyes. We are dealing with human eyes. We are equipped with 2 eyes, and these eyes are located in the orbits just below the forehead. We have 2 eyes located in the orbits just under the forehead. Just under the forehead. Now, these eyes, we wonder that the eyes that we look at, how big are these eyes? You may read it from different books. On an average, it mentions that the diameter of an eye is roughly 2.3 centimeter. Mind it, this is roughly 2.3 centimeter because it may vary from 2.1 up to 2.5 on different individuals. This depends on individual basis. This varies from 2.1 to 2.5. So on an average, we talk about 2.3 centimeter. Mind it that the eye that we look at, when we are looking into someone's eyes, we look at just 1/3 of the eye. 2/3 of the eye that remains within this orbit, that remains hidden. What we see is that is just 1/3 of that eye. Now this eye, how exactly the structure of eye is, if we try to study it, we find this eye is a spherical structure. Its outermost layer is called scleroid. This is scleroid. This is protective in nature, and in front it is slightly protruded out, and this portion remains colorless, and that is what we call cornea. This is cornea. This layer is sclera or scleroid. Then we have a muscular layer that is called choroid. That muscular layer that helps it to remain intact, that gives it protection, that is all that muscular part. And then we have all that sensitive layer called retina. Retina consists of various nerves. Nerve fibers are there. The nerve fibers are there to have the sensation from the eye and then transmit it to the brain. Now, what kind of sensation? Any object coming right in front of our eye, that gets focused on this retina, and that focused image is carried to the brain where it is interpreted, and we identify that what individual or what object is lying in front of us. Now, these are the three different layers. In addition to these three layers, we have a lens. We are all aware that biconvex lens. A biconvex lens is present in our eyes. A biconvex lens is present in our eyes, and this lens has the ability to focus all these images on the retina. This lens remains hanging by means of suspensory ligaments. Suspensory ligaments, these are thread-like structures which keep this lens in position. To the base of this suspensory ligament, there are muscles which we refer as ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles and suspensory ligament, they work antagonistically. Antagonistically meaning opposite to one another. If ciliary muscles contract, then suspensory ligament will relax. If suspensory ligament contracts, then ciliary muscles will relax. Now, the base here, we have a structure marked out like this. Can you guess that what exactly is it? This is the iris. When we look into someone's eyes, we find that there is that white part. That white part is nothing else but that is the sclera, and we find a circular part that may be brown in color, that may be dark brown, it may be bluish, it may be greenish in color. That is nothing else but that is represented here by means of an iris. That is iris. Inside this circular disc, which we are referring as blue in color, or it may be greenish in color, or it may be black or dark brown in color. Now, inside that iris, there is another hole. That hole is nothing else but that is this pupil. That is this pupil. Now, this lens present inside this eye that divides this whole eye into two sections. One section in front, that is the anterior part, that is referred as aqueous chamber. That is aqueous chamber, and it contains watery fluid which we refer as aqueous humor. Whereas the posterior part, that is this portion behind this lens and in front of retina, that portion is referred as vitreous chamber, and that vitreous chamber contains a jelly-like material which we call vitreous humor. I mentioned that this retina is all that sensitive layer. This contains various nerves, and these nerves, they carry the sensation to the brain. So if they are carrying the sensation to the brain, where exactly are they leaving this eye? They are leaving this eye somewhere around this portion, and we represent it in this manner. These nerves are referred as optic nerves. In our previous chapter classes, we talked about reflection, we talked about light, and it was mentioned that anything that is related to light, that is referred as optics. So here in this case, the nerves which are related to this light part, they are referred as optic nerves, and they carry the sensation to a part in the brain which is referred as optic lobe. This portion where these optic nerves are leaving this eye, this portion is referred as blind spot. This is referred as blind spot. Now, if by any chance any kind of image is formed in this portion, then that image won't be interpreted by our brain, because there are no nerves in this section. All the nerves, they are leaving this portion. So no sensation will be felt, and no image will be interpreted by the brain. If this is the portion where no image is formed, then where exactly that image is formed? Image is formed just exactly behind this lens, and this portion is referred as fovea centralis. This portion is fovea centralis. Is that okay? Mind it that I have drawn this diagram without making any label so that you write the labels on your own. Once again, let me give you the labels. This outermost layer, this is sclera or scleroid. Second layer, muscular layer, choroid. Third layer, all that sensitive layer, that is retina. Here a sharp image is found, fovea centralis or yellow spot. This is the portion where these nerves are leaving the eye, that is blind spot. These nerves, they are referred as optic nerves. This portion behind this lens, this is referred as vitreous chamber, and this vitreous chamber contains the jelly-like material, that is vitreous humor. This lens is a biconvex lens, and this lens is different from the lens that we normally talk about in our labs. The convex lens that we find in the labs, that doesn't change its focal length, that has a definite focal length. But here in this case, this lens has the ability to change its shape, change its thickness, change its focal length, so that whatever object is kept in front of the eye, that may get focused on the retina. Now this lens is kept in this position and it keeps on changing its position with the help of the suspensory ligaments. Suspensory ligaments, they may pull this lens upwards and downward, making it thin, increasing its focal length. Or they may relax, and when they are relaxing, the lens will just bulge out and it will become more thicker, its focal length will decrease. Now these suspensory ligaments, they are working antagonistically to these ciliary muscles, and these are the ciliary muscles. They work antagonistically to this suspensory ligament. Then right in front of this lens we have this iris. Iris, there is a hole in its center that is referred as pupil. This is a protrusion of the sclera that is called cornea, and the chamber in front of the lens and behind this cornea, that is referred as aqueous chamber, that contains watery fluid, that is aqueous humor. Mind it that all that refraction that takes place inside our eye, that takes place, most of that refraction takes place through this cornea. And the lens that again refracts, but it mainly focuses the image on the retina. Well, that's all as far as the structure of human eye is concerned. If you like this presentation, like this video and subscribe to my channel.